Hi everybody, welcome to Gunpla TV.
Hey guys.
Brought to you by HobbyLink Japan. We're back in the studio again. This time it's going to be a little bit longer than the last couple episodes.
What number are we?
This is number 80.
80 episodes.
Episode 80.
It's been a long journey, Sid.
A long journey.
Yes.
And we're
Have you
only
grown?
just beginning. I mean, I'm fairly young and Gunpla's going to be around for a while, so who knows, maybe we'll hit 160.
Yes.
Maybe they'll watch me croak on the show. I'll have a beard. Anyway.
Old
Today
man
we're going
Sid.
to talk about the Infinite Justice Gundam.
Yes.
People were recommending it to us when we had our list of top 5 kits. And I'm finished. I'll give my thoughts on that.
Okay.
And Ryan, what are you going to show today?
I'm going to show the spraying of my Falcon.
All right.
Which should be very eventful, I might say.
Should be interesting.
So where do you want to start, Sid?
Well, I think what we should start with, what we always start with, which is the new stuff. And
New stuff.
we do have some new stuff. So first up, more Gundam Age. It's still coming.
Gundam Age.
Ghirarga. How would you pronounce it? Ghirarga.
Ghirarga. Yeah.
And it's similar, you can see, to the Zetas and the Gapran and those kind of suits. But probably what makes this cool, in my opinion anyway, and a little bit different from the other ones, is it has this tail. Here, Ryan, can you see that tail?
I can see the tail.
Yeah, and this tail, it actually reminds me of the Master Grade Epion.
Oh, yeah.
That had that really cool tail design. And I had a look inside this kit. And this kit also gives you that wire, the wire they used on the Epion.
So
you should be able to pose that tail just like you did the Master Grade one.
Cool.
So that's a big plus for this little HG.
Wow. Sweet.
Yeah. And the one I'm really excited about, I've already claimed it.
Yes.
Here we are. It's the RGZ, not even, yeah. It's the ReZEL Type C Defensor B unit, etc. And I think this is wicked.
So this is a transformer, or is
it does transform. It does transform into its Wave Rider mode.
Okay, cool.
You can see there, and it comes with these just enormous backpack. It's quite different from the original ReZEL with this Defensor unit and these 2 monstrous guns. So this one, I think what I like most about it is the color.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna actually see if I can show everybody here. Now I'm a big fan of orange, so
that's very nice backpack.
It's kind of the dull orange. It works for me.
Yeah, very nice.
You can see actually here some of the parts they give you to make the Wave Rider road because it's quite heavy. But the armor parts, I'm going to take out the biggest runner here so it's easiest to see. The armor parts are actually this grayish.
Oh, very nice.
Similar to that gold gray that we've been using on the Falcon. And test shots kind of looked white to me with the lighting, but this gray is actually quite good. So it's going to stand out quite nicely.
Yeah, it's a nice color combination actually.
Yeah, it's good. So that's the ReZEL Defensor. I think we're going to be showing this on the show in the future because I cannot not build it.
No. Yeah, I'm actually very interested to see this. I really like the backpack. That's awesome.
You can see, here's the box. You can see it's quite sizable. If you want to pass me that other box over there. Normal HG boxes you see are, this is a standard size, but you can see that the ReZEL Defensor
it's much bigger.
It's much bigger. There's lots more plastic. And it's something maybe in the vein of a small MG, perhaps. All right, this is going over here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Ryan. So I think it's going to be your time to shine.
Oh, okay. So we'll go outside.
Yeah, we have to go outside and
demonstrate.
We're going to catch you on camera painting that Falcon of yours.
Graffitiing my Falcon. So as you can see here, I've actually painted the bottom of the Falcon. And you can actually see the difference, how wide it is over there. And the nice gray under here. And I'm actually amazed at how flat the spray paint went on. It was not a windy day again, but yeah, I'm happy it's looking right. But now I'm going to demonstrate what I did on the bottom, on the top. Okay, so we got our light gull gray paint from Mr. Color. Give it a good shake. And Sid demonstrated to me how I should put it on, which is like just this kind of motion. So I'm going to start now. This is always pretty scary. And I think we're running out of paint, so let's grab another can. Oh my god, they're all empty. But I have one full one right here. So let's give this one a go. When I get this away, okay. This is full. Wow, so Sid was right. He said I'd need quite a few cans, and I would have to agree with him. There is actually a bit of wind today, so it is actually blowing off. Okay, let's go from this way. Now this is the tricky bit, because I don't want to get paint all over me, but I got to get into all these guys. Actually, what I'll do is actually flip this guy around. So hopefully okay, there's just a few guys in here. Got to get all the sides. Get in these little details there. Okay, I think it's kind of done. I'll let it dry a little bit and then have a good look later. Stress. We'll see you back inside the office. So after my adventure outside with a bit of wind, we now have our painted Falcon. So let's take a closer look at the detail. I particularly like all the detail in here. I'm actually looking forward to weathering this, and from what I've been told, I can go ahead and actually start weathering it now. I'm probably going to fill in the little like valleys and gutters with some black. And you can see, oh, I don't want to break this. Actually the paint got in really good all through here.
The importance of primer.
Yes, actually I thoroughly recommend,
Like,
primer.
I fully endorse.
I fully endorse primer, because I think it's given it actually a very nice feel. And I'm actually surprised that the spray paint isn't completely flat at the top, because at the bottom it was actually very, very flat. But I guess because there's not that much detail in the bottom compared to the top. But yeah, I'm actually, you know, there's a few different, there's a bit of coloring at the top, which I quite like, just to add that kind of weathering effect to the kit. And you can actually see the difference, like this stand just had the primer put on it. And now you can see with the light gold gray, it's actually quite a difference.
Yeah.
So what next I'm going to do is, yeah, do a bit of weathering, a little bit initially, and see how that goes. I mean, like I said before, I'm not a professional modeler at all, and I'm a little bit scared to go crazy with weathering, because there's nothing worse than a badly weathered kit, especially a kit I've spent this many hours on. So I'll start light and see how that goes. But I've just got to put in a few clear parts here, and I've got to put the gun turrets in, and just the decals at the end, and then probably a final varnish of some kind, Sid.
There's one thing we haven't discussed yet, Ryan.
Yes, and
decals.
Decals. Yeah. But after the decals, this should be done, and then I'll get on to something new. But the Falcon will be around for at least a couple more weeks.
I'm curious to see what the new thing's going to be after doing an airplane and then a Falcon.
Well, should I give it away?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to give it away, so you have to wait.
All right.
Okay, Sid, well, let's get over to you.
All right, so we're going to talk about the Infinite Justice. And one thing I like about the Infinite Justice already is the box art. We showed that. Looks pretty crazy, this kit. And when you actually get involved in the build, you find that that's indeed the case. It's pretty crazy build. And what I've done here is I've actually got it laid out, because it comes in what appears to be like two sections. You have the suit itself, and you have the backpack. So I'm going to talk about these separately, and then we'll combine it and make the ultimate Infinite Justice look. First of all, let's talk about what actually comes with the Infinite Justice here. So you get the suit and the backpack, and of course you're going to get this beam rifle, and you're going to get the shield. And now the shield is actually pretty cool. I mean, there's lots of things you can do with it. If I pop this piece off, I have at my disposal this thing, and you can actually use this wire and make this like a little projectile. It's pretty cool. But I prefer this look of it in the shield. So I'm going to put it back here like this. By moving these, I can even install the little beam shield. So he's good to go against all those laser bolts. Now if you take this thing off the side, you can plug in one of the many effect parts, kind of like the Sword Impulse, and then this can pop out, clunk, and you can actually just put it in his hand. You can wield it around, and if that's not enough, I mean, he's still got these beam sabers. Taking these out here, and they go with these beam sabers. And what you can do is you can have, you know, just two, one in each hand. But if you want to free up some space here, just by popping off this end, these ends, and putting this on, you can have the double-bladed Darth Maul beam saber of doom.
Goes from General Grievous to...
There you go, yeah. And I thought one little thing that was pretty cool is, like, you know, you have these little parts, if you do these little swapping, oh no, what am I going to do? Well, what Bandai gave you in this stand attachment is somewhere to actually just dump these little parts. If you just drop them into here, you don't have to worry about losing these things, which is great. You know, they actually fit really securely. I can actually take a little bit of force to actually get them in there, but I want to use them later, so I'm not going to push them. And speaking of stand attachments, there really is quite a bit. Like, they give you this one, which you can use just to mount the backpack on a stand, or you can use this big one. Now the big one, actually you can fit in here like this. It's two pieces, and it actually plugs into the bottom of the backpack on the back of the suit, so you can have the whole unit up. And there's also a stand attachment just for the suit, which is just the regular stand attachment. Now while I have this guy here, one thing I can show is these beam effect parts. They are actually made to slide into the legs. He shoots these beams from his legs, and this is accomplished by these little gray pieces in the kit. They actually swivel. So when you're playing around with the kit and its articulation, these will actually move. Although it should be noted that they're really thin in the middle, so once you start bending them, they might pop sideways, and if that's the case, you might end up with a warped piece. So you got to be a little careful when you're moving the effect parts around. And these other effect parts here, so these long skinny ones, actually belong to the backpack. And the backpack, they actually slide on here like this, into these grooves, like the Sword Impulse weapons there. And you can put it on here. And while I've got the backpack here, check out this gimmick. If I just take this and this and I pull, I have this open. It's actually a really cool, simple yet effective design.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of sliding things, you can pop these back to show the guns here. These slide back and forth to accommodate the movement on the shoulders. And when it's time to put it on the backpack, on the Infinite Justice, well, you pop this back like this, and you can see these things are ready to go. They actually fit right here in the back of the kit here. So I'm going to pop this in. Good to go. And then, you know, this is kind of the standard look. Here he is. He's good to go. I'm Infinite Justice. But when he gets in his, you know, gets his groove on, he wants to fight, this actually pops up like this. We'll move this forward. This can lock into place, and then you slide these in over the shoulder. And now the cool part, I don't know if I can really show you, get a good camera angle, but you have these little locking mechanisms. And I have big bulky hands here. If you move this and pop it into this side, it will actually like lock this into place. So this will actually stay up like this. And then when it comes time to, you know, putting the stand attachment on, it's just a matter of popping this in here. And there is Mr.
That's quite, that's actually very...
Yeah, it's really simple.
Yeah.
And one thing I thought about this kit, you know, I always go on about the Sword Impulse, and they give you so much extra stuff, and it's great. And that's kind of what Bandai's done again with the Infinite Justice. You're getting a lot of stuff on this kit, and it all goes together really well. I'd be a little worried about these leg joints becoming a little loose, and then it might have problems standing up due to the weight of this thing on the back. But Infinite Justice looks his best when he's in action mode. So with these stand attachments, you can just plop him on a stand, and he'll be good to go till you want to play around with him again. So all hail the Infinite Justice. All right, Ryan. So that concludes the look at the Infinite Justice.
Very impressive.
Yeah, actually, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
does it crack into my top 5? Maybe it and the Epion are gonna have a little showdown. I don't know. It could. I could see it making its way in there. Depends. I gotta play around with it a little
Actually,
more.
that episode had fantastic feedback.
Yeah, a lot of people like we said, they suggested kits I'd never built before, which is why I did this. And speaking of which, I actually have a comment here. I'm gonna read here.
Sure.
This is from Winged Sora. Yeah. When you read enough Japanese, all the English looks strange. Winged Sora. And he says, the Infinite Justice was my first master grade, and I'm happy it was. The kit is amazing, and the articulation is also good. I was surprised that it could stand with the wings out with no support, but you really need an action base to fully enjoy this kit. And that's true. If you have an action base, there's so many options of it opened up for you. By the way, I honestly think this kit has the best mechanics for the side skirt armor, and also painting the inner frame silver would be bring it out more. I would do mine, but I've deckled it all up. So before I decal mine up, I have to consider if I want to paint that frame. But it's a stellar kit. Back when Bandai was making this series of master grades, I think they took a little bit of a leap when you look at the seed kits, and this definitely shows that. So to everybody who suggested that I build this kit, a big thank you. Yeah. And what about other comments?
Oh yes, we have more comments that I shall endeavor to read. Okay, hey guys, just had an idea for a show for you to do. Would you be able to do a tour of the place where Gundams are made, or is it a super secret moon base that Bandai let no one into? That's from Spartan.
I think he answered his own question. We have inquired about going down to Bandai and filming inside there, and it actually is pretty secret. Like, you can't say it's like secret, nobody knows it exists. Everybody knows it exists, but you can't really get in there. I think I've seen one Japanese magazine that was able to get in there.
Wow. Really?
Actually,
That's secret?
They got in there when the first RGs were being produced, and they were actually showing the huge monster presses that they used for the molding and stuff like that. But even then, it was pretty shy on the details. And when we went to the Gundam Expo there, all those guys were behind the glass, all those Bandai employees doing the jobs. And it also said no video, no film, blah, blah, on certain parts. And, yeah, Bandai's pretty protective of their stuff. And you can see why, because, you know, their stuff gets ripped off quite often.
Yeah, pretty easily.
Yeah.
Next question. Hey Sid and Ryan, I'm having trouble with some of my kits holding their beam rifles. My MG Delta Plus and my MG Shinanju can't quite hold them properly. I think it's because the pegs on their hands are too small for the hole in the rifle grip. Any tips on how to manipulate the hand or rifle to make it more sturdy? Also, do you think Bandai's next PG will be a Shinanju, since the MG version has sold out so well? There's no virgin version. That's Duckafro.
Okay, so when it comes to the beam saber hands, I actually don't have too much problem with the Shinanju, but any problem you will have is just because the gun is so big, it's heavy. The Delta Plus it's a wreck. Like I can never get that thing to hold it straight. So you have a couple options available to you. The easiest one is just to get that sticky blue tack stuff. Yeah. If you have that stuff, put it in the palm of its hand, slap the rifle in there, fold the fingers over, it'll stay. And then you can take it up whenever you want. Another option for you, if you want to think we have really securely, is to actually use a piece of metal rod and put it in the side of the handle pointing out and drill a hole in the hand. And then you can plug the...
Would you need to reinforce the elbow though? I mean, if it's a weight issue.
For the most part, well, the joints on the Shinanju are really good. Okay. It'll hold it, no problem. But the Delta Plus, you might need to do something about the joints. But if you're like painting it, that paint will create a layer, extra friction, and will also strengthen joints somewhat. Yeah. As opposed, and his next question, what do I think the next?
Oh yes, the PG will be.
I think that you're not going to see a PG this year. I think PG might come out next year, and I think that the Bandai is going to move away from large size perfect grades. I think the Strike Freedom was so big and so expensive that people shied away from it. I think maybe the next perfect grade would be the Age 1 normal. Oh, it's kind of smallish in size. There's a lot they can do with it when it comes to the LEDs. Gundam Age is being promoted heavily right now. It's similar to the ARC 782, so they already have that template with their kits. Do not be surprised if the next perfect grade is the Age 1.
Actually, I think you might be on the money. That makes absolute sense, Sid.
Yeah, it's not paper bucks.
Next. I'm looking into starting to paint my kits. I built all the old Gundam wing kits, but that was when I was young and they look pretty bad these days. I recently did an MG RX78-2 as my first MG kit ever, and it was really fun to use a Gundam marker, but I feel like it was missing something. I have a PG Wing 0 custom, but I'm nowhere near ready, so I'm going to start with an Age 2 normal HG kit for practice. Are there any good tips for a beginner on how to go about this? Thanks for the show, smiley face. The Returner 00.
When I started customizing my Gundam kits, I kind of followed the same progression as this guy. I started with a master grade, and then I Gundam markered, and then when I realized that you could do so much with them involving paint and stuff, I took paint to a master grade kit, and that might not have been the best step at the time. You know, I was so new to the hobby in general, and at painting, I didn't really know how to go about it, so I made a lot of mistakes. And when you consider master grade kits can be like 4,000 yen, you know,
you don't want to make...
I mean, you can fix mistakes with paint, it's just time consuming. But if you really want to just start basic to build up your skills and get an idea of how to do it, start with an HG, like you wrote, and look online. There's lots of tutorials. We've got lots of videos up now, Gunpla TV.
Watch me spray painting.
You just saw this guy spray paint.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's easy.
Yeah, no problem. I mean,
big flat surface.
That guy can do
very
it.
Easy.
Yeah, we painted several times on this show.
Yeah.
And if you want to use that as a template to practice, you know, take an HG kit and give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Hey, awesome episode. Sid, I have a question with regards to the MG Victory Gundam. Did Bandai ever release two versions, like the one with the clear parts and a later version without the clear parts? Also, if you had the chance to build the kit, did yours have weak joints, as I know some others modelers have discussed? Keep up the amazing work. That's from B3R, S3R, KR. Thanks, mate.
I have built the Victory Gundam, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And the one thing I should mention, though, for anybody who's not built it, is it's small.
Yeah.
You get master grade design technology elements in a kit that's about an HG size that is transformable. So you're working with a lot of small parts, and you have to be careful. I have only seen the version with the clear parts, and they have not released a version without. When it was first released, it was the 30th anniversary. They had the clear parts as a throw-in, one runner of clear parts, and that actually was one of the kits that kicked off that campaign. Yeah. That and the original red frame, and they also released only a couple months later the Victory Gundam with the core booster as a set. So because you can get that set, I don't think that they're going to bother going back and re-releasing the original V Gundam without clear parts, because there is a without clear parts available. Okay. A version available. And I don't have, or have not experienced joint issues so much, but I don't tend to, once I'm done building it, painting it, I don't tend to play around with it too much. Okay. So the more you play around with it, the looser the joints are going to become.
Don't play with your toys.
I'm not saying that. Play with your toys.
Gently.
Just be careful.
Guys, why did you discontinue the Astray Red Frame Kai? That's from Catalyst 233.
Yeah, so why did we discontinue the Astray Red Frame?
Why did we discontinue?
We didn't, Ryan. Look.
Oh, what? Wait,
it's right here. It's right here. Actually, this was, speaking of the Victory Gundam and the Clear Parts campaign, the Red Frame was another one of the kits that kicked off that campaign. And the original version that was released had the Clear Part runner in it. But that, of course, is not the case anymore because the campaign is long gone. It's over a year ago. So they actually released a second version, which has a different item code. Now, sometimes the Clear Parts version will show up on our site because it's the earlier item code. But don't worry, the Master Grade Red Frame is still alive and well. You can get it, and I'll put the link up on the blog post.
Sweet,
so
yeah, check the blog.
Speaking of the Red Frame.
Ah, yes. Hey, sir, try the MG blue or red frames. I'm sure you'll be impressed with the articulation. That's from Taco Supreme 25.
Yes, and a lot of people commented in my little top 5 episode that I should build the red frame and blue frame, and they're great. And they're right, they are great. But I've actually built both those kits, and well, great, they just didn't stand out to me. Although I really like the red frame. You can see it comes with this monster backpack thing.
I was just looking at that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I've actually built it and painted it, and maybe we'll get some pictures of that and throw in the blog post, because it's sitting on my desk, and I'm mic'd up, and I forgot to bring it, so I can't go get it, but we'll get some pictures after. Or maybe we'll take some video and throw it into the shot. So yeah, I did build the Master Grade Red Frame and the Blue Frame, and they're both great kits. I would recommend to anybody who's interested in the Seed and Astray Gundams.
Sweet. That's all the questions I have.
Okay, I might have had one more. Okay, at the end of the last episode, maybe not the end, I showed the Anksha, and I said, what do you guys think? You know, this is new to me. Has anybody ever experienced it? What do you think of the Anksha? We had a couple comments. A lot of people making fun of the name, actually, the Anksha, and they referred to the previous kit that's like that, the suit called the Asimir or something, and make fun of that name. Asimir? Anyway. Asimir? So, some people wrote in about the Anksha. I'm going to read their comments. So this is Killer Read Books. Read books is important. He says, yes, first comment. Congratulations.
I think you were 5, but anyway.
we have to approve. The Anksha is a pretty good model, even though mobile armor mode is nice. And mobile armor mode is that circular disc type thing, UFO.
The flying saucer.
It looks pretty strange in the picture, but when you transform it, it's pretty unique.
Okay.
So that's kind of a plus, I think. And somebody else also commented. He said, the Anksha, sneeze, it's heavy on stickers. I'm like, well, that's good. HG kits with stickers, awesome. But it still looks awesome, and the transformation is like a donut. So it looks like a donut.
I love donuts.
Yeah, although you can't really get good ones in this country.
Well, there's Krispy Kremes in Tokyo, but
yeah.
Actually, there was one question. Somebody asked me, how long have I been building the Falcon for?
Yeah.
Has it been 3 months?
Well, we can go back and look at the tape.
Yeah, it's been a while. Sorry, guys.
Well, life happens. I mean, when you build something like this, I can get this kit done in like 3 hours. When you build something like this,
yeah, it's taken time.
That's not the case. It's a totally different animal.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful kit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always take my time. I notice even with the pink plane, it took a while.
Yeah.
It's just my nature. But is that it?
I think that's all. So I think next week, new Master Grade being released, and we're gonna have it on the first day. I'm gonna open that baby
Check
up.
our blog, please.
Yeah.
And we'll have more photos, so
yeah,
we can
and
have a closer
we're
look.
gonna throw some photos in of my MG Astray red frame, which is no longer a red frame. I painted it differently.
Oh yeah.
But we'll actually get some photos in for people who want to see that. And until next week, we'll see you later.
See ya.